Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AIQuantEasy from zero to hero. In the last episode, we talked about how we enrich the data frame for stock data by adding extra columns that represent different indicators. So far, we derived different indicators either by using their definitions or using an existing package that is called TA. So this is an enriched data frame that we have. So this data frame contains the daily price information, volume information, as well as some indicators that we derived, including moving averages, Bollinger Band, RSI, and OBV. So now we will visualize this enriched stock data. Visualization provides a quick way for us to gain insight into the data. We will use a package called MPL Finance for our visualization. If this is the first time we use this MPL Finance, we can go to Anaconda terminal to install this package by using pip install MPL Finance. Since I already installed this package, so I can skip this step. First of all, we will do some basic visualization by using MPL Finance. So the first visualization we will do is simply visualize the daily open, close, high, low prices, as well as the volume data. So we directly use the MPL as a plot method and specify this is the data frame that we want to visualize. And for the data price, we use a candle to represent the four prices: high, low, open, and close. And we also want to visualize the volume, okay? So we specify volume to be true. And the figure scale is set to be 1.2. So we just execute this one. So to see what do we get. We get as a basic visualization of the daily price and the volume information, right? So basically, the first panel plots the daily price. We have SPY for the past 1 year. And every candle represents the open, close, high, low prices for that day. Then underneath, we have another panel shows volume, trading volume for each day. Now we have this basic stock chart. We would like to add extra indicator information into this chart so we can gain better insight into our stock data. The first indicator we want to add to this chart is Bollinger Band. Okay, so basically we will use this statement to add Bollinger Band to our charts. We still call MPL.plot. But in the parameter set, we add this add_plot information. So add_plot actually specify a dictionary. So in this dictionary, you have a set of key value pairs, right? So necessary key is called data. So that data specify the column or data frame that we want to visualize. And then there are some other key value pairs which specify the features of your visualization. So in order to create such a dictionary, we call another helper function called make_add_plot via MPL. So this helper function can help us easily create such a dictionary that is required by this plot method. So here we show that we use this make_add_plot to specify that these are the three columns that we want to add to the panel. So these are the high band for Bollinger Band, the middle line for Bollinger Band, which is the 20-day moving average, and there's a lower band for the Bollinger Band. So this one specify a sub data frame that contains these three columns related to Bollinger Band. And this method will create a dictionary. Again, this dictionary, we have a key called data, and these 3 columns are the data that we want to visualize. There are some other key value pairs specify the visualization features. We just keep all those keys for default values. Actually, we can print out this dictionary to say what do we have here before we do the visualization. Okay, let's just run this cell. So you can see that this make add plot helper functions provides dictionary. Okay, so this dictionary has a bunch of key value pairs, right? So the necessary one is data. We specify the key is data, then we specify what data we want to visualize, right? So this is a sub data frame that contains these 3 columns that we want to visualize. And some other key value pairs specify the visualization features. And then here, we just keep the default value for all those keys. So those keys like type of the line, moving average or not, which panels. By default, we visualize on the panel 0, which is the first panel that we use to visualize the daily price data. And the colors, all those things, we just use default values. Okay, so then we call this plot function to again visualize SPY with type candle, the same as what we did before, but here we add this dictionary, right? So we specify add plot to be the dictionary generated by this make add plot helper function. Okay, so what we have here is we overlay the Bollinger Band on our stock daily price data. So here you can see that we have this high band of the Bollinger Band, and we have this green low band, and we have this middle line, which represents the 20-day moving average. Recall that Bollinger Band is a volatility indicators, right? So giving us the ideas, the range that the daily stock price will typically bound to. Now, we also want to add MACD line. So instead of overlay MACD line on the stock daily price chart, we want to visualize MACD as a separate panel underneath the volume panel. So this is how we do it. Again, we use this make add plot to create a dictionary for us to represent MACD line. So in this method parameter list, we specify the data to be the MACD column of SPY data frame. We also specify some other values, values for other keys, like the panel. We don't want to overlay MACD directly on the stock daily price chart to make this panel messy. Instead of that, we want to visualize the MACD line in a separate panel. So the panel for this daily price chart as panel 0, and the panel for the volume information is panel 1. So we want to visualize the MACD in a separate panel right underneath the volume panel. So that's panel 2, right? We also specify the color value to be green and the line style to be dash. Okay, so these will create a secondary dictionary for MACD, right? Then we also have this Bollinger Band dictionary created by the first call of make underscore and plot. So basically, we will have a list of 2 dictionaries. Then when we call this plot function, we put this list of dictionaries into this parameter add plot. So in this way, we will visualize both Bollinger Band, which is overlaid with a daily stock price chart, and we will have MACD line, which will be visualized in a separate panel underneath. Let's run this to see what we get. Okay, so this is what we get so far. Again, we still have our Bollinger Band overlaid with the data price information, right? Then we have the volume panel. Then we have this MACD line, which is visualized in a separate panel, panel 2, okay? As we mentioned earlier, MACD line is typically used in conjunction with another signal line, which is 9-day exponential moving average. We want to visualize that signal line together with this MACD line in the same panel. Okay, so in order to do that, again, it's very simple. We just use this make add plot to add additional dictionary in this list. So in this list now we have 3 dictionaries. The first one is for Bollinger Band. The second one is for MACD. And the third one is for this 9-day exponential moving average line, right? So we want to put this as MACD and EMA9 in the same panel, which is panel 2, okay, because they use in conjunction. This EMA9 is used as a signal line, right? And we want to specify them as different color. So the signal line will be the blue color. Okay, now I can also change the line style instead of to be a dash. We want to change to dotted line, okay? So then I call this plot function by specifying this list of dictionary I just generated. Okay, so now we have 3 dictionaries in this list. The first for Bollinger Band, the second for MACD, then the signal line for MACD, and both MACD line and the signal line will be visualized in the same panel. Okay, so let's run it to see if we get it correct. Oh, this is 2. So we visualize 2 lines. The green dotted line is the MACD line, and the blue dotted line is the 9-day exponential moving average, which works as a signal line. So here you can see that how these 2 lines actually interact with each other, right? So when we say that we can observe this green dot line cross above the signal line, that may indicate that the trend of the price has changed to uptrend, right? So if we observe that this green line, MACD line, cross below this signal line, then we may have the price trend change to downtrend. So you can see now we have extra information provided to us by this chart. Now we want to continue to add the other indicators that we derived in the previous episode into this chart. So here we will add this OBV on balance volume line into our chart. So we add another dictionary in this list by calling make add plot, right? So the data is this OBV column. And since it's a volume indicator, which is different from MACD, we want to visualize this OBV in a separate panel right below MACD panel, right? So that should be panel 3, okay? So we add this SPY OBV line visualization in another panel, in a new panel, right? So now this list contains 4 dictionaries. The first dictionary is for Bollinger Band. The second is for MACD. The third is for the signal line that is in conjunction with MACD. And the last one is for OBV. The second and third one will be visualized in the same panel, panel 2. And the last one will be visualized as a new panel, panel 3. Then we just bring this list of dictionaries into add plot and call this plot function. Okay, we run it. Then we have extra line, which is OBV line. Okay, so now we will have this extra line, which is OBV. We run it. So now we have this extra line, which represents the unbalanced value. So now you can see that now we have this new panel right below MACD panel, and we specify the line style for this OBV line as dash dot. Okay, so you can see that the line style is different from the previous ones. So finally, we want to add RSI, relative strength indicator, that we derived last time as well. So you know how to do it now, right? So we just simply add another dictionary in this list by calling make add plot. We specify the column RSI underscore 21, right? So again, we visualize RSI in its separate panel right below the previous panels. So that's panel 4. Okay, so the line style is dash. We run this cell to see finally what we get. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, right? So the first panel, panel 0, provides a basic daily price information with a Bollinger Band. So the second provides a volume information. The third provides MACD information. Then OBV. The last one is relative strength indicator, relative strength index. So you see, altogether, so we have much enriched information for the stock daily price movement now, right? We can see the trend, it's upper trend or downtrend, what is the volatility so far by looking at the Bollinger Band, right? We can also see the money flow by viewing the OBV. If you derived extra indicators, you can visualize them in this way as well. Just simply add more dictionaries into this list of dictionaries, right? You add more, then we visualize more information about the stock data, okay? So by using this MPL Finance package, we can easily visualize this complex stock data to gain extra insight into our data.